So now let's move on to question number 5. Construct the angle bisector using a compass. So this is a review. Let's take our compass, we'll put our sharp point on the vertex, we'll open it up to a convenient width, and we'll draw an arc that intersects both sides of the angle, like such. Okay. We're going to label each of these points. We'll call one point A. We'll call the other point B. And now we can use this width. Let's make it just maybe a little bit narrower. And now we're going to make an arc all the way around with our sharp part of the compass in point A. Let's make a very wide arc. And then without changing the width of the compass, let's put the point into B, and let's make another long arc. The intersection of these two arcs we'll call point F. And now I'm going to draw, and just to make it sort of make some sense there, let's call the vertex C. I'll just name it C, so I can call this ray CF. So now this ray CF is the angle bisector of this angle, which we can call ACB. Okay, so that was a review. Now let's go ahead and do problem 6. Copy the angle, this time though using a protractor. Okay, so let's copy this angle using a protractor. In order to do that, we've got to figure out what is the degree length of this angle. So we've got to line up the origin with the vertex, line up the baseline with the side of the angle, and it looks like we're going to have to lengthen this angle a little bit. Okay, so let me go back. Let me get a little bit of a straight edge. In order to use my extra large size compass, we've got to extend this out a little bit longer. Okay, good. And let's do it again. I'm going to put this in here, line up the baseline, and let's see what our measurement is. That looks just about right. Okay, I think, there we go. Okay, so it looks like we're right at 120 degrees. Okay, in this case, even the innermost scale shows we're at 120 degrees, going all the way. Remember, we measure an angle going counterclockwise. So in order to copy the angle, we have to create another angle that's 120 degrees. So let's go ahead. Let's draw ourselves a ray. I'm going to call this endpoint K. Okay, so now we have this ray, and we've got to copy the angle. So now I've got to take K, and K becomes my origin. So I'm going to put the origin over point K, center it in there, and I'm going to rotate it around that point K so that the baseline lies on top of the side of the angle, right on top of that ray. Let me try to center it just perfectly like that. And now I've got to make this 120, so I can make myself a mark right by the 120 degree point, right over there. And now that I have that mark, I take my straight edge, and I will join K to that point. Trying to be a little bit of a perfectionist here, okay. And let me connect those 2 points. And if I wanted to call this point, let's say X, and I wanted to call, let's say I made a point on here, called it Y on the other ray, then I can say that I have copied this angle above into angle XKY.